Rick Ross wants to direct his own BMF movie, which is impossible because the life rights have already been contracted to 50 Cent and his company. But Rick Ross is trying to... See, this is where Big Meech is a fool. He let Rick Ross get into his ear and say, hey, man, you ain't getting paid enough off this series, man. Like, you should be getting more money. This is your story. It's your story. To take advice from someone who stole somebody else's name and story is insane, bro. Like, Rick Ross, there's a real Rick Ross. This is the fake Rick Ross. Can this Rick Ross rap really good? Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I love Rick Ross's music. But let's not let him get away with everything, okay? Like, Rick Ross isn't some real dude from the streets. He's not. It's just, you know, you guys can get mad all you want, but, like, all he did was ruin Little Meech's career and put a pause on any money Big Meech was going to make with 50 Cent. Rick Ross ain't going to put him on no plays. Name me some people Rick Ross put onto some plays. Please. Please. Do it. This is what Rick Ross had to say right here.
Yeah. So, look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small-budget series. Now it's time to do a big-budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie, F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. It's a lot of legends. This is going to be big. I can feel it. I'm just talking.
Straight to Tubi.
Yeah. So
Rick Ross wants to take that movie straight to Tubi. Man, then Rick Ross gets exposed by his baby mom for screwing over Meek Mill. Now, 50 Cent removed all of his BMF posts, just so you know, so we'll see if he's working something out with Little Meech, and maybe they can come to an agreement where Big Meech will just stay back as an advisor, stop throwing these temper tantrums where he thinks he can take over the BMF show and get paid more. It's not going to happen. I'm glad he's home, but you know, there's also a lot of spooky allegations about him as being a third-party cooperator. So Rick Ross's baby mom exposes that he used to pillow talk to her and said he got a 2-for-1 special on Meek Mill's houses because Meek Mill was desperate for cash. Okay, so he sold Rick Ross the house in Atlanta and the house in Philly for $4 million for both. Meek Mill could have got more going to quick cash for houses. I don't know why Meek Mill got advised poorly on this, but Rick Ross, this is why they don't speak anymore. You're wondering why they did that album, Nothing More? It's because of this. Meek Mill already thought he was being ripped off by Rick Ross by being signed to MMG. And now he feels like he got screwed over on these houses. I mean, it's nasty work, man. The game says that Kanye's determination to win and not get canceled, blah, 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 it motivated him to put out the documentary 3. I'm interested in hearing the documentary. I saw some snippets of it, and it sounds like Game is rapping better than he has in a long time. So I am looking forward to hearing that. I don't think it's going to sell a lot, but I'm looking forward to it as a Game. I am a fan of Game's music, even though he does a lot of goofy stuff. I'm still a fan of Meek Mill's music when he puts out good stuff. Offset, GD, Offset's tripping. I don't know what he's talking about. Kanye now wants Diddy free. Shows a bunch of support for Diddy. Then he's talking about you can't cancel me. I'm uncancelable. He's talking about very controversial topics like, you know, slavery was a choice, all this other stuff. It's like, dude, he's trying to stir up and get posted by blogs. He thinks he's a genius when all he's doing is going for shock value. You're famous going for shock value. That's not being a marketing genius. He's bringing some attention to you, but just put out good music. You'll sell it. You don't need to do all this to sell your music, Kanye. And he doesn't speak like this when he doesn't have an album dropping. We have watched Chris Brown. I stand by Chris Brown. You know, Talks about he puts up Diddy's son. He says every son. He's talking about separating families and all this other stuff. I'm gonna tell you something. You know why Kanye changed his tune on Diddy with this? He's guilty of the same things. He's guilty of the same things. Wait till Bianca breaks up with him. It's going to be bad. And I hate to see it because Kanye's a talented person. But dude, if you think Diddy's a freak, I've heard people, he's hired people. Like, I used to know these dudes in Miami that were pimps, and Kanye used to hire the girls, and the stories they would tell, my gosh. He should be ashamed of himself. Bad Baby calls out her mom for being a racist and then smacks her in her house and puts out the footage. Nasty work. And that's it, man.